Good evening. I will call the May council meeting to order. All members are present with the exception of Alderperson Koth, who is on a study tour in Germany. Before he was elected, he was afforded that opportunity, and so he's excused from this meeting tonight. Thank you all for being here in person, or if you're joining us from home. Move into item 3 on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a silent prayer in lieu of invocation. I invite you to please stand. Item number 4 on our agenda this evening is the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting, which is number 1 in our attachments. Council members, what are your wishes regarding the minutes of the previous meeting? We have a motion to approve by Kellogg. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Furkey. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That passes. Next item on our agenda this evening is the explanation of the visitor speaking procedure. Individuals wishing to address the body may do so this evening after being recognized by a council member, in which please indicate your desire to speak by raising your hand or grabbing the attention of someone up here when you'll be able to speak on an agenda item on something that's in front of us this evening. You will be invited to speak for no more than 5 minutes on any of those items. Next item on the agenda this evening is my report. Good evening, alderpersons, city staff, and residents here or watching from home. As with previous month's report, I will highlight some of my items that cross my desk or that I partake in following the last council meeting. Last Thursday, I joined a group of mayors in participating in the U.S. Conference of Mayors event, Mayor's Bike Summit, which was hosted by Madison Mayor Paul Soglin. The summit was an excellent opportunity to review successful mayoral initiatives and leadership strategies that are making bicycling a more viable transportation option within cities. Sessions took place throughout the 2-day summit, of which I only attended 1 day, that touched on a variety of issues facing residents who bike for not only recreational reasons, but also for alternative transportation. Cycling is much more than about a way to get around. It's also an integral part of having a high-quality community that works for all people. A complete streets concept, one that encompasses connecting trails and bike paths to destinations, is critical to quality of life that people expect from cities today. As one of many avid bikers myself, I've witnessed and experienced firsthand in our city and cities throughout the country the various benefits that biking accommodations such as bike lanes that we started to introduce last year can have both for motor vehicle drivers and bike riders in our city. They can also, the bike lanes can transform the bicycle riding experience by improving the city's streetscape, encouraging active and healthy activity, and contribute to a sense of community. But they also can provide significant benefits for the livability of our city, the mobility and health of our residents, and support our ongoing pursuit of environmental sustainability. One of my priorities as mayor has been to enhance the livability of our community, as well as to work towards providing a coherent and connected bike and trail system. The planning and development of bike lanes are a crucial component of our city's transportation infrastructure, as well as an interconnected bike system within our community and connecting to other communities. Having an interconnected lane system will ensure cyclist safety in getting between points to and from their destination. I look forward to working toward implementing some of the best practices I took from that summit last week in our community in the future. In a similar way, before the council tonight is a selection of the preliminary design RFP, or consultant for the riverfront design. This came as a result of an RFP that was issued to address the feasibility and design of amenities, as well as to address riverwall concerns. The recommended consultant was chosen from a group of 8 respondents, each with varying degrees of expertise in river and waterfront design. Some, I would say, had greater creative skill sets, while others have stronger engineering strengths. As I see it, the valuable riverfront in our city needs to be respected while also utilized for greater uses. Another pages didn't print. Pull it up. Excuse me. further, there's obviously tremendous benefit in leveraging the economic benefits that will come as a result of the public investments in those creative and practical designs to make our riverfront a destination for the time to come. Other items worth noting, actually just today began some of the discussions regarding the 2016 annual budget preparations. Never too early to begin working on the annual budget. Also last Wednesday I joined the League of Wisconsin Municipalities in Legislative Lobby Day to speak to state legislators. Obviously they're working deeply, they're deeply involved in the preparation of the state budget, which is concerning to municipalities, particularly in the area of tax increment financing and some of the tools that are available to municipalities like ours, as well as advocating for against the elimination of the personal property tax because of the shifting toward the property tax bill that homeowners would face in lieu of that. And obviously topics on transportation. Proclamations issued over the last month. National Kids to Park Day on May 16th. We joined municipalities to encourage our area's youth to explore our city's parks with National Kids to Parks Day. Wisconsin Rapids, obviously, as we all know, is home to a beautiful park and trail system that provides an opportunity for our residents and for our visitors to engage in active lifestyles while experiencing the beauty that nature has to offer. Whether playing disc golf in a park, playing baseball, picnicking, fishing, or visiting a historical site, or the Fireman's Memorial, our parks offer a wide array of options for families to explore nature and discover something new. Leading up to May 16th, members of the Mayor's Youth Council participated in a parks tour to aid in developing project ideas and become more familiar with the many parks our city has to offer. This month, we say goodbye to one of our two student observers, Nick Kazuski, who's with us tonight. We thank you for your continued participation, Nick, in city activities such as the formation of our Mayor's Youth Council and attendance here at our council meetings. As you've seen at these meetings, municipal issues are not always straightforward, and they're often broad in scope. And I hope and I commend you for your efforts to become more informed and to learn more about your hometown. So as you get ready to start your next chapter in life, please remember your hometown and consider returning to apply your talents to make our city a better place. And we look forward to working with our new LHS representative, who's also a member of the Mayor's Youth Council, Adeline Tsai. Thank you for being here, and we're pleased that you will be filling Nick's shoes. And finally, I'd like to recognize the retirement of our city treasurer, Dave Batten, who after 26 years to the city will be retiring just in a few short weeks. And in recognition for his service, I'm going to present Dave with a plaque. Beth has been asked just now to come up and take a photo. Sue was going to indicate to you, but we'll just stand right here. How does that work?
Spelled my name right.
Oh, Travis wants one too.
Reinforcements.
Who was back there? There you go.
Great,
Thank you.
thanks. Thank you.
Did you prepare your speech? Okay. As always, I hope that you find value in a sampling of what my weeks consist of. As a reminder, I encourage residents to subscribe to the Community Update online. It's been a few weeks since I published one, but I'm working on a couple of updates that will be forthcoming here very soon, or catch variations recorded on RCCA Media, or request a print version from my office. Also a plug for my radio show, monthly radio show, Beyond the Show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Live stream on WFHR.com or tune in your radio. Call in with your questions. Thank you. Item number 7 on our agenda this evening is the Student Observers Report. I understand there was a request to speak. I'm not sure who exactly was giving the report. Nick, is that you? Okay, floor is yours.
Hello? Okay. It's probably too close. Okay. The Mayor's Youth Council was held on, The Mayor's Youth Council met at 3:05 p.m. on Wednesday, May 13th, 2015 at Lincoln High School. The meeting started with subcommittee reports. The Legislative Subcommittee finalized the Youth Council bylaws to be adopted by the Youth Council at future meetings. The Recreational Subcommittee members reported on the results of the parks tour they attended with the city staff. And finally, the Community Subcommittee members established project selection criteria for the collective group to consider when narrowing down project ideas. After allocating time for the group brainstorming of projects, the youth council then began the exercise of listing out project ideas and narrowing down ideas for the council to complete during the summer. Various project ideas consist of marketing the city's parks and recreation opportunities to other youth, working in cooperation with the mayor's council on beautification to the beauty selective of the city entrance signs, working with the mayor's council on sustainability and to participate on projects identified from their interim report, co-leading park revitalization by working to understand how parks are currently used, identifying improvements to work and possible fundraising to accomplish those. And finally, the dog park enhancements. Over the next few weeks, the Mayor's Youth Council will begin working to narrow down the list to approximately 3 short and 3 long-term projects that the youth will work on during the summer and next fall. Thank you.
Thanks for the update. Item number 8 on our report this evening is the report of the Planning Commission meeting held May 4th concerning. Planning Commission met at 5 p.m. on May 4th here at the first floor conference room of City Hall. Approval of the report in the April 6th meeting. There was a motion and a second to approve the report, and that motion carried. Maps and plats received. We had one map and plat received from Aspirus Wausau Hospital Incorporated. The applicant is requesting a certified survey map approval for the combination of multiple parcels into 4, as well as a dedication of property as public right-of-way. The subject property is located at west of State Highway 54 between Chestnut and Saratoga Street. There was a motion and a second to approve the Aspirus Wausau Hospital Incorporated CSM, and that motion carried. There were no other maps or plats received. Item 3 was a public hearing on Plan 1508, in the city of Wisconsin Rapids. The applicant is requesting an amendment to Chapter 11 zoning and Chapter 12 subdivisions and platting of land. Public hearing was opened at 5:04. Adam Teagan spoke in favor of the request, and no one spoke in opposition to the request, and the public hearing closed at 5:08. Item 4 was action on Plan 150508, City of Wisconsin Rapids. There was a motion and a second to approve the report, and that motion carried. There was a motion to adjourn at 5:10 p.m., and that motion carried. Council members, what are your wishes regarding the report of the Planning Commission meeting held May 4th?
Move to accept.
A motion to approve by Alderperson Stack. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Alderperson Kellogg. Shane reminds me to hit your button, Scott, if you could. There it goes. Okay. One more time. Thank you. Moving to discussion. Any discussion on the report of the Planning Commission meeting? Seeing none, please cast your ballots.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Item number 9 under new business. Item A is my appointment to the Police and Fire Commission meeting held, let's see. In your packets, it's in attachment number 2. And its following appointment is submitted for your approval. To the Police and Fire Commission, Donna DeWitt, who resides at 1410 Clyde Street, appointed for a 5-year term effective 7/1 of 15 and expiring 7/1 of 2020. Is Donna in the audience tonight? Okay. Thank you. Council members, what are your wishes regarding my appointment to the Police and Fire Commission?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Dillon to approve. Is there a second? Second by Ferkey. Any discussion? Donna's a recently retired Verso employee, and she left probably under NewPage, I think was, if I'm not mistaken. She's got an HR background and very interested in putting some time toward efforts of the city, so I commend her for her interest. Moving to a vote. All in favor, please cast your ballots. Sorry, it's not a voice vote.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Thank you. Item number 10, the Standing Council Committee reports. Item A is the Finance and Property Committee meeting, May 5th. Alderperson Dolan, please.
Thank you, Mayor, those present, and those watching at home. The Finance and Property Committee had 2 meetings this month I'll be reporting on. The first one was held on May 5th. All members were present. A list of attendees that were present is on file in the clerk's office. Item 1, the meeting was called to order at 5 p.m. Item 2, request from John Fanta of the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors for approval for the Raptors to host a Wisconsin Cheese Curd Fest event at Whitterfield on August 2nd, 2015. It was moved by Whirl, second by Hep, to approve the event for August 2nd. Motion carried. Item number 3, consider a recommendation from Statewide Services to deny a claim from Greg Zolnick for damages to his vehicle. It was moved by Whirl, seconded by Hep, to deny the claim. Motion carried. Item 4, consider a recommendation from Statewide Services to deny a claim from Zach Berwink for damage to his vehicle. It was moved by Whirl, seconded by Hep, to deny the claim. Motion carried. Item 5, consider discontinuing membership with the North Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission. It was moved by Heck, seconded by Whirl, to discontinue the city's membership with the North Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission. Motion carried. Item 6, considering hire Supermass as a consultant to complete the Wisconsin Riverbank Green Space and Recreation Preliminary Design Plan at a cost not to exceed $120,000. It was moved by Hep, seconded by Whirl, to approve the hiring of Supermass as a consultant at no cost, at a cost not to exceed $120,000. The motion carried. Item 7, a request to suspend the open container ordinance and close the streets, following streets on July 4th from 12 noon to 11 p.m. Streets are listed on file in the clerk's office, and to also close some streets from 7 to 11 p.m. for safety. It was moved by Whirl, seconded by Hep, to approve the street closure and to suspend the open container ordinance for the above listed streets and to include Witter Street, which was left off in the closure and ordinance suspension. Motion carried. Item 8, beverage operator license applications. It was moved by Whirl, seconded by Hep, to approve licenses for the following new and renewal applications. They are on file in the clerk's office. Item 9 was an audit of the bills. The committee audited the bills. Moved by Hep, seconded by Whirl, to approve voucher 59160 from April 1st, 2015 through voucher 59. We got the same number, so that's not right. But 43215, and to recommend payment. Motion carried. Item 10 was to begin a review of the 2015-2016 liquor, beer, wine license applications. The committee began reviewing the applications. Second meeting of the Property and Finance Committee was held tonight at 5 p.m., first floor conference room. All members were attending, and a list of other attendees is on file in the city clerk's office. The meeting was called to order at 5 p.m. Item 2 was a request from Jenna Moran, Encourage Community Foundation for Special Events application for the community picnic on August 5th from 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. to include street closures on First Avenue South from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Johnson Street. Item B, street closure from 3 to 10 p.m. on 2nd Avenue South from West Grand Avenue to Johnson Street. Item 2, 3rd Avenue South from West Grand Avenue to Chase Street. And item 3, Goggin Street between 1st Avenue South and 3rd Avenue South. They also wanted the suspension of open container ordinance in the area bounded by 3rd Avenue South to the Rest Riverblank, use of a power box, vending, special beer license application, speakers, and a noise ordinance varies for a live band, and the use of the Marketing Square parking lot and the Centralia Riverwalk as a vendor area in the event of the inclement weather. It was moved by Whirl, seconded by Hep, to approve the special events application to include street closures, use of the Centralia parking lot, suspension of the open container ordinance in the area requested, vending, special beer license, variance for the noise ordinance, and use of amplification, use of the Market Square parking lot, and the use of the Centralia Center Riverwalk area. Motion carried. Item 3, review and consider ordinance changes to Chapter 22 fermented malt beverages pertaining to licenses and fees. It was moved by Whirl, seconded by Hep, to approve the ordinance. Motion carried. Item 4, review and consider ordinance changes to Chapter 23 intoxicating liquor pertaining to licenses and fees. Moved by Whirl, seconded by Hep, to approve the ordinance. Motion carried. Before I announce item 5, we are going to hold that out for a separate vote and discussion. Consider a resolution authorizing the issuance and sales of $995,000 general obligation promissory note series 2015A. It was moved by Hep, seconded by World, to adopt the resolution authorizing the issuance, sale of $995,000 general obligation promissory notes series 215A. Motion carried. Item 6, it was moved by World, seconded by Hep, to adjourn. Motion carried. The meeting adjourned at 5:21 p.m. Terry Dolan, chairperson, Greg Hep, secretary. I move for adoption of these two reports, holding out item 5 for separate discussion.
We have a motion to approve the reports with the exception of item number 5 and the second report and the second by Alderperson Perky. Move into discussion. Seeing none, please cast your ballots.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Thank you. That leaves us with the balance of item number 5 on the May 19th report. I'd entertain a motion on that item. Bill, did you want to, I suppose we'll take a motion, and then we'll take a motion. Somebody.
To approve item 5.
We have a motion to approve by Dolan. Is there a second? Second by Whirl. Bill? Can you make sure your mic is on, Phil, if you wouldn't mind?
Is it on now?
It is, thank you.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to take a moment of your time to go through the sale day packet that was handed out prior to the meeting. On behalf of the city, at 10 o'clock today, we took bids on the city's capital improvement budget. It's identified at $995,000 general obligation note. That's what you have in front of you tonight. As always, we conducted a competitive bond sale, which means we take bids, we assemble that information, we provide that to the city's bond attorney, which is Quarles and Brady, and then they prepared the resolution, which you have in your packet. And again, the final resolution was distributed to you prior to the meeting as well. Prior to taking bids, we did have a rating call with Moody's Investor Service. If you go into the sale day report to page 7, starting on page 7, 8, and 9 is the actual report from Moody's. I can report to you that the city's AA3 rating has been affirmed, which is good news for the city. Moody's has gone through and done a kind of a modification to their report. Most of the information that is pertinent to you is found on page 7. There is more detailed information on pages 8, 9, and 10 of the report. I won't read that to you because I know you don't want me to. So, but it's wonderful bedtime reading for later on if you can't fall asleep. I can tell you that they have identified some strengths and weaknesses of the city. They've identified on page 7 what could make your rating move up or down going forward. Strengths and weaknesses have not changed from year to year here in Wisconsin Rapids. Your strength, 2 main items. One, you have a healthy fund balance. You've continued to add to that fund balance, and that they see as a real positive of the city. And then also, operations at the city's largest taxpayer has stabilized at NewPage, so they've recognized that. That's a change since when we were here 2 years ago talking about this. Challenges, taxpayer concentration, paper manufacturing, and cranberry processing, and then also some weak demographic profile of the community. So those are the strengths and weaknesses they've identified. At the end of the day, they affirmed the AA3, which is still a very strong rating by Moody's. Going back into the body of the report, on page 1 is a quick summary. I'll just highlight a few items real quick. Again, we do competitive sales and advocate strongly for those. You had 4 bids that were received today. The winning bid was Bankers Bank. Bankers Bank is really a bank for banks. It's they work primarily with community state banks. They had a local bank participate in their bid. River City Bank was a participant. The bid was at 1.8841%. That was their low bid and the low bid. The high bid was 2.2973. So we had quite a gap between the low and high bid that was realized. We had a month ago or so projected where we thought rates were going to be. They came in a little bit less, to the tune of about $6,000 less over the life of this 10-year issue. And some of the issuance expenses came in less so that the city will have an additional $8,900 available for capital expenditures. So that's what's highlighted on the first page. Pages 2 and 3 are bid tabulation, just gives you the list of firms and the rates that they bid. Bankers Bank, again, low bid, UMB Bank out of Kansas City, Bernardi Securities out of Chicago, and then also Bosk out of Milwaukee were the 4 bids that were received. The size of the issue probably drove down the number of bids that were received. I don't like to make light of $1 million, but, you know, when you're issuing municipal bonds, $1 million is a relatively small amount. In the past, I think you've done some refundings that pushed you up to the $3 to $4 million range, and that generates a little more interest from additional firms. So at the end of the day, what we're looking at is ultimately trying to determine what the impact is of doing capital borrowing. And for your purposes, on pages 5 and 6 are a couple of charts that boil it down to what the tax rate for debt on the levy is. And what we're trying to manage along working with staff is to make sure that we don't have peaks and valleys in the levy, at least for the debt purpose. And that's been managed very well, and that's represented again on page 6 in the blue column, which shows that you are stable and actually dropping a little bit as far as your levy amount for debt payments. So all in all, very good sale, 4 bids, retained your AA3 rating, and you have a little bit of extra money available for capital expenditures.
Thank you, Phil. Any questions for Phil? Or for Tim? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. Please cast your ballots. Thinking our system's down. I want to do voice vote. Sorry about that.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Item B,
Excuse me, Your Honor.
yes.
Where are you, you'd be going to, which item next? 'Cause
We held out item 5,
oh, that's right. Okay.
so I'm going to the Public Works Committee, item 10B.
And what I'd like to do is I apologize, but I just had a couple of questions on the tech report that Tim gave us.
Sure.
Okay? I apologize.
Tim, do you have that available? You might be able to, okay. You can probably field them. Photographic memory.
I realize this, and I should have called him, but then I realized he might have been in discussions on the bond issue. Just towards the end of, it's on page 35, the University of Wisconsin, the membership, what would that be, Mayor, for, Tim?
Oh, it was in my budget. That's the Mayor's Innovation Project.
Okay,
Yep.
and
It was a budgeted expense.
I realize that it was, and the membership with the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point or Madison?
No, it's not actually, I believe, and maybe Tim can pull the voucher on it. I don't know why they're the vendor on that.
Oh.
Because it's actually the Mayor's Innovation Project, which is housed, is partnered with Center on Wisconsin Strategy, which is housed at the University of Wisconsin. I believe that's the iteration of where that expense came from.
Oh,
Does that sound right, Tim? Of why they're the vendor on the voucher?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then back to page 10, do you have that? You don't have page 10, okay. CDW government for $9,200. The check would have been, I think, 155,201.
I'll check into that for you
Okay.
and let you know. I'm not sure exactly offhand.
That's fine.
I have to run upstairs.
And no, don't do that. Image trend for 11,800.
Fire department. Fire chief?
That's our reporting system for EMS and fire calls for the year.
Oh, okay.
It's our annual cost for that program.
Okay. I think just those couple stood out. Thank you.
Thank you. Move into item 10B, the Public Works Committee meeting. Alderperson Rayom.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Public Works Committee met at 6 p.m. on May 5th, 2015, in the first floor conference room in City Hall. All members were present. Also attending were Mayor Verwijk, Alderperson Furkey, Joe Eichstead, Nick Dooms. A list of others present is on file in the clerk's office. Item 1 was to call the meeting to order. Item 2, review and consider ordinance changes to Chapter 6, Streets and Sidewalks, pertaining to sidewalk clearing, as recommended by Adam Teagan, Planning and Economic Development Director. There's a motion and second to approve the ordinance revisions as presented. The motion carried. Item 3, review and consider ordinance changes to Chapter 7, Landfill Mandatory Recycling, pertaining to electronic waste, as recommended by Adam Teagan, Planning and Economic Development Director. There was a motion and second to approve the ordinance revisions as presented, and the motion carried. Item 4, review and consider brush pickup policy. Draft policy was presented by Jim Borski, Public Works Superintendent. It was determined that no ordinance changes were required, therefore no action was taken. Item 5, review and approve the low qualified bidder for the 2015 roadway reconstruction contract and local road improvement project. There was a motion and second to approve Pember Companies Incorporated from Menominee, Wisconsin, as the apparent low qualified bidder in the amount of $565,523.05, and that motion carried. Item 6, review and approve the low qualified bidder for the 2015 manhole rehabilitation project. There was a motion and second to approve HydroClean LLC from Rogers, Minnesota, as the apparent low qualified bidder in the amount of $74,290. That motion carried. Item 7, request from Kurt Hoyer, Police Chief, to perform speed studies on 25th Avenue South between Gaynor Avenue and West Grand Avenue, and 32nd Street from Lake Avenue to 600 feet north of Kingston Road. There was a motion and a second to approve the speed studies, and that motion carried. Item 8, the 2015 project schedule was reviewed. Item 9, the referral list was reviewed, and we could remove from 2015 items 13, 17, and 18. And item 10, there was a motion and second to adjourn. Motion carried. The meeting adjourned at 6:53 p.m. And with that, Your Honor, I move for adoption of the report.
We have a motion to approve by Rayom and a second by Alderperson Kellogg. Move into discussion. Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. Please cast your ballots.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Item 10C, the Human Resources Committee meeting held May 12th.
Good evening. The Human Resources Committee met at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, May 12th, in the third floor conference room at City Hall. All committee members were present. Also in attendance was Beth Lukanowitz, Jim Borski, and City Attorney Sue Schill. First item was call to order. The meeting was called to order at 4 p.m. by Alderman Perkey. Item 2, a request to consider and approve a general wage increase for non-union employees for 2015. A motion was made by Alderperson Perkey and seconded by Alderperson Kellogg to approve a general wage increase of 1.5% for non-union employees for 2015, retroactive to January 1st, 2015. That motion carried. Item 3, request to approve the same sick leave incentive to non-union ASME and asset employees that will be provided to the firefighters and the police department employees. A motion was made by Alderperson Kellogg and seconded by Alderperson Perkey to approve the same sick leave incentive to non-union ASME and asset employees that will be provided to the firefighters and the police department employees. That will be retroactive to January 1st, 2015. That motion carried. Item 4, to discuss street department summer work hours. This item was brought up for discussion only. No action was taken. Item 5, adjournment. A motion was made by Alderperson Stack and seconded by Alderperson Perky to adjourn. Motion carried. The meeting adjourned at 4:35 PM. And with that, I would make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Perky to approve, second by Kellogg to approve the report of the Human Resources Committee meeting. Move into discussion. Seeing none, move into vote. Please cast your ballots.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Item number 11, under miscellaneous reports. Item A is the Southwood County Airport Commission meeting held April 29th. Item B, the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department monthly organizational summary for April. Item C, the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department monthly report for April. Item D, the City Treasurer's monthly report for April. Item E, the Wisconsin Rapids Housing Authority meeting, monthly meetings held March 25th and April 29th. Item F, the Waterworks and Lighting Commission meeting held May 5th. Item G, the Board of Zoning Appeals held October 14 and May 12, 2015. Wastewater Treatment Commission meeting held May 6th. Item I, the McMillan Memorial Library Board of Trustees meeting held April 22nd. Alderpersons, what are your wishes regarding those reports? I have a motion to accept by Kellogg. Is there a second? Second by Whirl. Ted, you gotta try your remote out tonight. Oh, did you? Okay. Thank you. Any discussion on the reports? Alderperson Kellogg, you're first.
Sure. Yeah, we had a very busy month this last month. Went through it rather well, but it definitely shows me the type of manpower that I have on my department. Very proud of how they handled the month. So I think we had a total of 4 structure fires, largest wildland fire that I can remember in my 25 years on the department. And the week that we had all those fires, we had 150 EMS calls, which is an unbelievable week. So very busy month. Thank you.
Any other discussion? I will point out one related to the airport. I meant to do it in my report. 2 things related to airport. First of which is a special airport commission meeting held. It's going to be held on Thursday. It's for an opportunity that the commission has before it that we were given a second look for a development out there, and we're hopeful that the commission will ultimately approve what we presented to them late last week or maybe yesterday for a large hangar development that will house a nice aircraft that will be taking delivery of this winter. And the second piece related to the airport is on Thursday after that meeting here in this chambers, we're going to be hosting a public forum on further maintenance activities that need to occur out at the airport related to clearing of approaches and the obstructions off the airport property. Essentially, it translates to tree removals and tree topping that needs to occur that are penetrating the airport or airspace outside the airport fence. So that's happening here. We've invited 347 property owners. I don't think they're all going to show, but if they do, we're going to have a packed house. But here on Thursday evening, and I can forward you that invite if you wish to be informed. Any further discussion on the reports? Seeing none, please cast your ballots. Or try to, Shane tells me.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Item 12 is items for new business at the June 16th council. My appointments to boards, commissions, and committees, I've got a number of appointments to make, and I would indicate to members here in the room or those that might be watching or spread the word to others for residents who desire to serve on a commission, committee, or a board. There's a number of openings that I'll have to make appointments to. Item B is discussion and possible action on the downtown steering group. It's something that was referenced at our last month's meeting that will likely, that I'm hoping that we'll be able to bring forth discussion. I guess the question I've got for this body on that item would be whether or not we desire to have a committee of the whole discussion about the formation of that group, maybe what their charge would be, what their responsibilities would be, to what degree they've got authority, in relationship to the council. That would be something I guess I would ask this body, and maybe something I can work with the council president and get a meeting established if there's other items. Anybody have any strong feelings or thoughts on that subject that come to mind? Okay. So we'll work on maybe setting something up if people desire that. Item 13, under ordinances, an ordinance amending parts of Chapter 11 of the Municipal Code entitled Zoning as recommended by the Planning Commission at its May 4th meeting, which is attachment 10. Council members, what are your wishes regarding attachment number 10 under ordinances? I'd entertain a motion to approve. Council members, what are your wishes regarding attachment number 10, or item A under ordinances? Adam, did you want to address the item, if there are questions?
No, just 13A and 13D are just the formal ordinances that are approving the changes that were referenced in the Planning Commission report earlier. So it's just the formal approval of those changes. If anyone had questions on it.
We have a motion to approve by Rayom. Is there a second? And a second by Dolan. Any discussion? Seeing none, please cast your ballots.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Item 13B, an ordinance amending parts of Chapter 12 of the Municipal Code entitled Subdivisions and Platting of Land as recommended by the Planning Commission at its meeting on May 4th. See attachment number 11. Council members, what are your wishes regarding item B? We have a motion to accept by HEP. Is there a second? Second by Dolan. Any discussion on that item? Seeing none, please cast your ballots.
Motion carried, 7 ayes and 0 nays.
Item 14 on our agenda is a referral of communications to committees. Are there any referrals to committees? Seeing none, move into item 15. I'd entertain a motion. Nick? Yeah, please. Sure. Make sure your mic is on so we can hear you. Thank you.
It's on. Okay, cool. I just wanted to say a little thank you to all of you guys. So, as you all know, I'll be graduating next week from Lincoln High School. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all for the wonderful experience. It was great getting to know everyone here, and I enjoyed being involved in the city council meetings and learning so much of my experiences. I value this privilege and will miss attending monthly meetings. I congratulate Adeline C., and I'm very excited for her. I know she's a great person and have no doubt she will impress you all. Can I please get a round of applause and congratulations for her? Just like to say thank you once again. I'm very appreciative for this awesome opportunity to interact and take an active role in my community.
All right, thank you. Good luck, Nick. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Rome, is there a second? Second, all in favor? Opposed? That passes. Thank you all. Have a good evening.